I know this isn't a new thing to hate, but I've become progressively more bothered by blatant exposition in TV shows, whether it's re explaining something all the characters in the scene already know for the sake of any viewers who missed previous episodes, or covering their ass against any potential plot hole allegations. I've learned to sniff these things out, and the more you get accustomed to them, the more obvious they get. The first one I want to talk about is something that happens in crime shows a lot, where two detectives or agents or partners or whatever are driving to a crime scene or a person of interest residence to question them or any kind of destination for any reason, and they don't talk to each other about where they're going or why they're going there until they're already in the car like halfway there. One person always has to initiate the conversation in the passenger seat out of nowhere, like, so tell me about this crime scene, or so who's this guy we're meeting, as if they just got in a car and let themselves be driven to wherever with no questions beforehand. Or they'll start their conversation in the office, and one of them will ask a question like that, and then there's a jump cut to them driving there, and the other person then answers the question without missing a beat, as if there wasn't just 15 minutes of presumably dead air they didn't show you of them getting in their car and driving most of the way there. Like, oh, you want to know where we're going? I'll tell you when we're 2 minutes away, and then we'll go over the case that we've definitely already gone over off screen and finish each other's sentences the whole time, like lovers from a YA novel. That's another thing. TV shows, it's okay for your characters to finish their own sentences, man. I'm not gonna forget who the other dude is if they don't talk every 5 seconds. Another thing that goes in hand with that is the absolute overuse of people's names. Two people are talking to each other on TV, you can bet they end half their sentences with the other person's name. I don't get dementia after every scene, okay? I know who these people are, and they know who each other are. What's wrong, Sam? Nothing, Dean. Sam, I can tell you're lying. Dean, I'm not Dean lying, Dean. I'm going to use Supernatural in a bunch of these examples because I'm currently rewatching it. Obviously, it's not a crime show, but some stuff still applies. Short tangent, I'm a fan of early Supernatural, when it was mostly just them doing episodes on a case-by-case basis, like, okay, in this episode we're going to fight vampires, and in this episode we're going to investigate a pagan ritual, but eventually it becomes this ongoing war between angels and demons that lasts like 10 full seasons and gets old sooner than that. They introduce God as a character, and he's played by a nerdy, below-average dude with a forehead you wouldn't believe. It just goes straight up bananas. I didn't watch the last couple seasons, so I plan to do the whole thing this time around, currently on season 4, and it's still very good at this point, and I want to try to pinpoint the exact moment the show falls off when it arrives to see if I notice. The next faux pas, I guess you'd call it, is related to Supernatural as well, because for background, these are two dudes who fight all manner of supernatural entities: ghosts, demons, hellhounds, shapeshifters, vampires, the works. And all of them have specific ways that you're supposed to kill or banish them. Ghosts can't pass through salt, so the hunters often spread it around in a circle and stand in it, or cover the doors and windows so ghosts can't get in. And the ghosts can also be temporarily dissipated by hitting them with iron to slow them down or stop them for a bit. Over the course of the show, Sam and Dean Winchester, the main characters, will use iron to beat back ghosts dozens upon dozens of times, whether with a crowbar or a fire poker, what have you, and every single time they do it, one of them feels the need to explain the fact that they have just used iron. Hit a ghost with a crowbar? Good thing this is iron. It's one of those kinds of lines where the only people around are the two brothers, who are very experienced with this kind of thing, so there is no reason for them to say shit like that to each other. So it's exclusively meant to inform the already informed audience, because we've seen it 6 times already. I know they need to make episodes accessible to new or random viewers in the hopes that they will become regulars, but whose grandma are they trying to appeal to, watching the show with their grandkids and asking questions like, how come the ghost disappeared when he whacked it? The most egregious example of this is in the episode with the Rising of the Witnesses, where a bunch of the people Sam and Dean failed to save over the course of the seasons have been risen as ghosts by a demon and compelled to haunt them, and Dean is by himself with one who is kicking his ass until she stands under a rusty old chandelier and Dean shoots it down with a gun and it makes her disappear. And after this happens, Dean, who is alone in the fucking room, says out loud to nobody, "Iron." Like, Jesus Christ, man, was there a rat in the corner of the room you had to enlighten? Writing is so corporate and fake sometimes. I say corporate because stuff like that is just the fear of confusing even a single viewer, trying to be as accessible as possible and appeal to all masses. The funny part is that the show itself parodies this fact in a previous episode where there's ghosts on a horror movie set. Sam and Dean go undercover as crew on some B-list horror movie, and there's a scene where one of the producers is critiquing a scene where the actors in the movie are doing a chant to summon a demon or something, and the producer's like, I don't get it, man. Latin? Why do demons understand Latin? And if the demons are in hell, how do they hear the chanting? What, do they have super hearing? It's not even that the questions are inherently stupid, they're just completely unnecessary to ask when the lore has been established and fiddled with for like hundreds of years. Like, who gives a shit, man? They're summoning a demon. You gotta do it somehow, and chanting feels more authentic than slam poetry. But so, because of the producer's quibbles, they actually changed the script, and so now while the chanting is going on, one of the actors is like, how do they hear the chant all the way down in hell? And then another guy's like, they must have super hearing. It sounds so fucking stupid, as it should, because it's like a tongue-in-cheek jab at producer feedback and treating audiences like idiots. But stepping back and knowing that Supernatural writers wrote that and then went on to write Dean alone in a room going, iron, I can't help but feel phony. This is why limited series shows are kind of nice, because there's like 6 episodes and nobody starts a show by watching episode 4 and going, huh? So the writers can just do their thing front to back without worrying about catching people up every episode. That's another feather in the cap of the binge model too, and why I will always support it, because if you're planning on releasing your whole season at once, nobody has time to get lost in the plot or watch bits and pieces of random episodes. You don't have to constantly make sure people know what's happening, because they all started from the beginning and paid attention, and you don't have to waste 45 seconds of airtime going previously on White Collar. White Collar's a great show, by the way, even though it also does a lot of the stuff I've been talking about. I want to binge everything, man. I hate waiting a week for an episode. I don't care what it is, and especially if it's a popular anime, so everyone on Twitter isn't spoiling every damn episode. Nowadays, I still gotta see Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers on the timeline, even during the off-season, because the manga is still going strong. Imagine getting spoiled by people who read comics. Bro, check out all the still images that happened last night. Those 12 pictures of a fight were insane. Especially when the JJK anime is known for having some of the best animation in the business. That's like if people back in 2009 were like, man, I wish James Cameron's Avatar was a book. That movie was the movie you had to see in theaters. The best graphics anyone had ever done back then, and you still would have had people like, is there a comic of this? I'd rather imagine the action. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Watch all my other videos and retain everything from all of them, and I'll see you guys next time.